Check it out, folks. This is our pest control management system that we've got in place. We rotate them and we make sure that they actually get into all the nooks and crannies and underneath the bark to control all those buggers that get into our fruit trees. We're talking codling moth, parent cherry slug, citrus gall wasp, caterpillars alike. Oh wow, actually I'm just impressed. I just saw something that I did the other day. Have a look at this. So we have got our, ooh, you can see the moisture pushing through. We were going to talk about spraying our nectarine and peach tree, but look at this. I painted this a couple of days ago, and this is where the main part of the damage has been, right? Along here, and you can see here as well, there, that's where I scraped. That's where it's bleeding from. That's where the sap is oozing from. So it's an open wound. We've sealed it. Now it's like putting a dressing on an open wound on your arm or you know, on your body. You need to change the dressing. We can't change the dressing here, but what we can do is allow it to come through, but paint it over, give it another coat on top. So if that's starting to happen in your plant, and if you've got that sort of symptoms showing, make sure that you paint it over and seal it properly. But even just like that is much, much better for the tree, a hell of a lot better for the tree. You're giving it a coat of armour protection. That's whitewash, folks, and that's done with hydrated lime mixed with water into a paint and applied. Now, you let it sit in the water for a while. You don't just mix it straight away and apply it onto the trunk. You need it to actually infuse a little bit. But you've also got to make sure it doesn't rain for at least 6 hours after you've applied it, so it doesn't wash off. It needs to get absorbed onto the tree and dry out, obviously. Now, we've had some good rain after I painted this in the last couple of days, and you can see it hasn't washed it off. It is quite stable. Those discolorations are coming from underneath the whitewash, not on top, because otherwise it'll be all over these areas, which is good wood there. So whitewash your plants to protect them, to sterilize them, antifungal, antibacterial it is, and moisture retention, it becomes a barrier. It's like our CGWS. All the products that we work with now, folks, are meant to be topical, not systemic. You want it to be applied on the surface of the plant rather than allow it to travel through the sap flow of the plant, because if you do that, all you're doing is putting toxins back into the plant and into your food. In fact, if you're eating something out of the tree, if it's a fruit or a vegetable. So hydrated lime, CGWS, diatomaceous earth is another one which is great. We've got that now available online, which is great for your bird life, your wildlife, like chickens and things like that. You can dust them with that, or you can use it as a pest control management, but it's non-selective. That's the only problem with diatomaceous earth, is that it'll knock out all the good and bad pests, so all the bad pests and the good pests. So monitor your plants before you start using it, or if you want to sprinkle it around the base to control codling moth, things like that, great. But if you spray it on your trees, like a teaspoon in a litre of water, if there are good pests on there too, it'll affect them as well. So that's one, that's the other. CGWS, and obviously traps and tree bans are the basic principles that you need to practice to protect your plants without using chemicals and toxins. It's all on our website, vasilisgarden.com. Everything you need at discounted prices every day. From me, Vasily Maresi.